Last video, we were able to make this histogram of pulse rates for varsity athletes and non-varsity athletes, and it looks great. I think the next thing I want to do in Fathom is get some summary statistics, numerical measures of center and numerical measures of spread, and so that I can prepare to make a analysis for my case study. So what I'm going to do is, if I double click on the collection again, I will get my inspector to pop up. But to get the numerical summaries, I'm going to drag down a summary table this time. And the summary table is blank. I'm going to move this over just a bit. And as I look at my visual displays, I notice that I have an outlier here. And so that's going to concern me if I use the mean and the standard deviation. So eventually in here, what I want is the interquartile range and the median for sitting pulse rates between comparing varsity athletes and non-varsity athletes. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my quantitative variable, sitting pulse rates, and I'm going to drag it to one of the two axes. I think I'll put it on the vertical axis. When you do this, you automatically get the mean. Now the mean of all the data, regardless of whether you're a varsity athlete or not, is right here. So what I really need is I need to take varsity athlete and I need to put that on the other axis. So this one was, the first one was on the vertical. I'm going to switch over to the horizontal axis now. And you'll notice that I get those that were varsity athletes, those that weren't. That old 68.932 is now in the row summary, but now we have it split up by those that were varsity athletes and those that were not. I get the mean and I get the count, which is the number in each group. What I really want is the median and the IQR. So there's a couple ways I can do that. If I really don't want the mean here, what I can do is right click and I can choose to cut that formula. And it goes away. What I'd like to do is right click again and add a formula, and you'll notice I can add the basic statistics. And if you do basic statistics, that mean is going to pop up. So if I click on the mean down here, the corresponding row up here will show me the mean. The standard deviation is number 3 in the list. There's this thing called a standard error, which we'll learn about later this year that we don't need, so I'm going to cut that. The count of missing items is highlighted. We don't need that, so I'm going to cut it. Again, we really thought the mean and the standard deviation might not be ideal here because of the outlier in the varsity athletes up there. So I think what I'm going to do is cut this formula, and I'm going to cut the standard deviation, and I'm going to add the 5-number summary, and I get the minimum, the Q1, there's my median, Q3, and the max. One of the things that might be nice is to actually have the calculator, or have Fathom, do the interquartile range, and that's easy. There's a couple ways to get it. One way to get it is to go to functions, and you scroll down, and it's a statistical function. It's based on one attribute, so we'll hit the one attribute, and you're going to see a library of all the different options you have. And as we go there, oh, there it is, IQR. So we're going to highlight it. And the great thing about Fathom is whenever you select a command, you're going to see directions on how to use it. So IQR of a certain variable can be there. So I'm going to do IQR. And it's okay to leave this blank here. It's still going to work. So hit OK. And there's your IQR right there.